Boom. So welcome to the Monday Night Call. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Unless you had anything you wanted to say.
No,
No?
Morgan said no announcements, just celebration, and we're going to be doing some sort of Zoom for those of us that are going to celebration, just to give, any last minute questions, especially for people who have never been to an event before. So I guess we'll be hearing about that soon in our Have It All page.
It's going to be exciting. All right. So let's go ahead and share my screen. And also, for those of you that have been on e-trainings with me, you know that I like PowerPoints. So I got to have
agenda.
I got to have my agenda, for people like Milena. They like that kind of thing.
The Reds.
All right. So let's move this out of the way just a little bit. Can everybody see that? Yeah? Yeah? All right, cool. So a couple of things we wanted to talk about tonight. Tonight's call is not all about procrastination, but I know that we get caught up in it. We all do. We get caught up in our day. We get caught up in our excuses. We get caught up in Facebook. We just get caught up in life. And the thing we've got to remember is we all have 24 hours in a day. We all have 7 days in a week. We all have the same time. And the thing that about procrastination is the tips that I've got here are things that are set into motion tend to stay in motion. What that means is get into action. Do something. If you're feeling lost, and we'll talk about this, but I'll go ahead and mention isagenixbusiness.com is such an awesome resource. I mean, it was great before, but they've revamped it. They've got great scripts in there. They've got great tips and ideas. It's got a tab that says start here. So if you don't know anything, if you're just not sure, like you get stuck. I'm telling you, I've been doing this we've been building for a little over probably about 3 years now. And there's some days where I literally go, Shanna, what do I do? I forget too. And so when you get those days, go back to what works. Go back to the things that are just taking you step by step. And that's it. So when you get into massive action, when you get into motion, it will stay in motion. And I'm telling you, if you're feeling down about things not moving the way they need to, or your team or somebody or this, that, and the other, get into motion, get into action. You can't think negative thoughts when you're in action. That's all you're doing. Okay, so number 2, just pick one thing you're going to do today. If you're just that overwhelmed, if things are just going in such a direction where you go, I don't know, the kids are screaming, my wife is doing this, or my husband's doing this, I don't know. One thing, pick one action item. Tom knows what I'm talking about. Pick one action item and do it. Now, we've talked about this, daily activity. Shannon did some training on that. And it's awesome to have a list of things that are non-negotiables. This is what I'm going to do today. But if that's just overwhelming to you, pick one thing.
And maybe some days it's just sending out birthday messages, but then celebrate yourself for sending out those messages. Don't make yourself feel bad because that's all you did.
Yeah, don't talk about what you didn't do. Talk about what you did do. But the key with this is I am not going to let people off the hook with doing nothing. Okay? Everybody's here to build a business, so we're not babysitting people here. Everybody wants to do some kind of business, whether it's getting your products paid for or creating a full-time income. I'm not judging which one is right or wrong for you. That's up to you. But you have to be consistent, and it takes daily action. Because I'm going to tell you, 1 day leads to 2 days, leads to 3 days. When you're doing nothing, it just falls off. And that's when you really feel stuck. That's when you don't want to communicate with your team. That's when you don't want to respond to people reaching out to you, because you just feel you let yourself down. Don't beat yourself up. Just do something that day. And then number 3, set a deadline. Okay? When are you going to do this by? So part of the 90-day action plan was how many reach outs are you going to do each day during the next 2 weeks or whatever for the full time. Set a deadline, set a time frame for when you're going to do that. So by this date, I am going to do what? Okay? Pick something, write it down, have it in front of you every single day. All right. So 5 keys to achieving competence in order to get confidence. Okay? We have to, sometimes we don't feel as confident. This is a brand new, network marketing is a brand new skill for most people. It is something that we didn't learn to do. So that's the first thing you need to understand is there are people that you are looking at, that you're looking at them being in this game for 3, 4, 10 years, 20 years for some people, not Isagenix, but other businesses. There are some people in Isagenix that have been doing network marketing for 20 and 30 years, but you're looking at their end game and thinking that should be your beginning. And that's not the way it is. They had to grow. We don't see the progression. It's like, once again, we'll bring up Casey again. It's not about looking at where Casey is right now and saying, do exactly that, because we don't know everything it took to get to that point to do that. So you have to have some grace with yourself. You have to give yourself some, be kind to yourself and realize that if you do those action steps every day, do one new thing every day, you'll move yourself in that direction. So number one, study. Learn the profession. Learn what we do. And the number one book that I always recommend is Go Pro by Eric Worre. This is the network marketing Bible. This guy knows what he's talking about. He talks about the 7 steps that are necessary to grow your business. And if you read nothing else, that would take you to a whole new level all by itself. So study. Practice what you study. Don't just study it. Put it into action. And understand that we all have filters. So you're going to filter some things. You're going to take some things. You're going to leave some things. Okay, so what I say on that is, first of all, don't put up walls and blocks for things that are new to you, because we all have to step outside of our comfort zones. And so you don't want to just stay within your comfort zone. You have to realize that we have to put new things into action, because I don't want to just say, well, I'm not willing to do that. Well, the new thing for me, I don't know who I heard this from, but instead of saying no or I'm not willing to do that, just say, what if? What if I tried that? What if this was what I was looking for? So try that from now on. Okay, the next part is performance. Plan, do, review. So plan your action steps, plan what you're going to do, your daily duties, do those daily duties, and then at the end of a period, whether it's 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, whatever, give yourself some time, review it, look back at that. You guys have to understand that if you're trying something new, because like I know that some of the things I've been teaching people about how to reach out, how to prospect, and those, it's uncomfortable at first. And so you can't just look at it and for one day go, that was really uncomfortable. That doesn't work. No, it's just because you were uncomfortable. We have to move to the next stage, which is getting comfortable with being a little bit uncomfortable. So review what happened and see what kind of results you got. And you want to, you want things to kind of take a step up, but if you're getting zeros now, and at the end of a month, each week you were reaching out or getting one person that was interested in talking to you each week, well, that's a big step up. So don't judge that. Don't compare that to somebody else.
Not that you need examples of the performance part of it, but just a couple. Working with your team with the cold texts and the cold prospecting. What I say might not be what you would say. And so I have some girls on my team who were just basically copying what I had said, but then said, that doesn't feel right anymore. It doesn't sound like it would be something that I would say. So they review that. It's just self-reflecting and then going back and tweaking it. Same thing, I was trying the ATM strategy, which I don't know if you guys heard of it, the ICU, it's the add, tag, and message. And I thought it was awesome. But nobody that I was putting in the group was answering me. They had gone into the witness protection program when I had reached back to ask them what they thought about the group, and even after a couple days. And so what I realized the missing crucial step was I was putting them in the group before I was scheduling the call. And so that I went back and I'm like, okay, problem solved, because now I get them really, I can clear away the people who are just interested from those people who are really serious, or the people who are curious from those people that are interested, because if they don't want to do a call with me, then they're really probably just only curious about what I'm doing, not interested. So just review it and then tweak it as you go, make changes.
So, to go along with that, this is an uncomfortable level for some people, because first of all, you're trying something new when you say, hey, would you be open to taking a look at what I do? and then you just let it go and you're going on to new messages, well, then you get that ding, and you get somebody saying, yeah, absolutely, I'd love to learn more. And then you go, oh, man, now what? Okay, so some of you know what I'm talking about. I still get that way. I'm still like, whoa, okay, somebody wants to know what I want to do. You don't have to know everything at that point, guys. You don't have to think about selling somebody. You don't have to think about closing somebody. You don't have to think about selling the business side of things. You don't have to know all of that. What I do with people is I send them a quick message back and go, hey, man, that is awesome. I would love to get you more information. I want to make sure I get you the right information. And the easiest way to do that is for me to just talk to you for a few minutes, understand what you're looking for. Then I can get you the right information. And so I schedule that phone call. I tell them I'm ready. I'm available Tuesday or Thursday at 4 o'clock or 6. Which one works better for you? And we get them on the call. I just talk to them. What are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish? Fantastic. I mean, if it looked like it, if it wants to go in that direction, I do it. But if it's just a fact finding, then I just say, hey, that's awesome. We have a private Facebook group. I'd love to add you to that, tag you in a couple of things so you can learn a little bit more. Would that be okay with you? Always ask if it's okay, and then put them in the group. But you're going to have that connection where they're not going to be as willing to go hide in that witness protection program if you just do the easy way and go, let me put them in the group and let the group do the work. Well, guess what? The group's not going to do the work, okay? You have to do the work. You're the tour guide, okay? Now, modeling. Watch what other people are doing, okay? I love to follow not only successful people in Isagenix, but successful network marketers in lots of other companies. I model what they're doing. I don't copy what they're doing necessarily. Some people I do. If it's my message that I'm trying to get across, I will I'll copy a lot of what they do, but I'm looking at how they're branding themselves. I'm looking at how they're bringing themselves to the market. And, you know, some of the things like Shanna's learning is she's working with a coach that is teaching her about, I guess, self-indulgence. And what I mean by that is a lot of times what we're putting on our post is, hey, look, guys, look at me, look what I'm doing, look at what I got going on this week. Wouldn't you like to be doing what I'm doing? That's self-indulgence, and it kind of turns people.
Relates to that.
Not everybody relates to that. I'm not saying that doesn't work for some people, but for a big amount of people, they're not looking for, oh yeah, I just want to kneel down to what you're doing. You want to bring value. What can you offer? What are people looking for right now? And that's the big question to ask. What are people looking for right now that I can offer them out in the market? And find that out and then do value, okay? So that's modeling. I love to do that. And then teaching it to other people. That is where I really learn what I'm doing. I don't get on here because I want people to see me. It makes me very nervous to do this. I do this because I have to learn it, and by learning it, it reinforces it in me, and it also shows other people what I'm learning things outside and bringing it to the table, because we can't learn everything that's out there. And so when you find something that you go, wow, that would be great, well, don't just keep it in. Share it with the team, share it with Have It All, share it with everybody. And, we can all use it. It's that one team. And then consistency, like I said, you always have to be consistent. It's daily activities. It's not once a week activities and hoping for the best. It is daily activities. And if you're not getting the results you're looking for, look back at what you're being consistent with or not being consistent with. Okay? All right. Next, Shanna's going to go over some of this.
See, okay, this is what really inspired me when I found this. I did not make this. I found this actually. I want you to look at it. If you're on your phone, if you can like blow it up, because I want you to look at it and I want you to think about which one are you. And you are, let's just say we're probably different ones in different areas of our life, but look at it as your business. Where are you in your business? Are you inactive? Are you reactive? Or are you proactive? So I would imagine that when a lot of us started, we were more reactive. We were more of the post and wait.
Post and pray.
Post and pray. Oh yeah, that's what post and pray. Like we're doing these, we're trying to do these great posts. We want people to see them, and we're waiting and we're wondering like, how come more people aren't messaging me or asking me what I'm doing or liking this? And when you're a reactive, let's say business person, I guess, you are staying in your comfort zone, and you are very at ease here. You're very safe here. But you're also wandering around aimlessly because you're not willing to like step out. You're just sticking to like the things that you feel very comfortable at. I can speak from experience because it was very hard to change, and I wasn't going to do any of those things that any of the leaders were telling me to do, because I was going to do it my way and stay in my little box that I had. So I want you to look at that. Is that you? Are you a reactive business person? You might be here, and that's okay, and you just might be moving a little bit slowly and cautiously, and usually it's because of fear. You're afraid of something, but you're also feeling a little bit stressed because you're feeling like you want to do something with this business, but you're too scared to do anything different than what you've already done because that's scary. You might step out a little bit, but then you come back in. So to take it on the other side, and I'm not even going to talk about the inactive side. I'm hoping, I think we fall into this for a day or so and then push ourselves back out to reactive or proactive. But think about the proactive side. I think that's where we all want to be. We're not posting and praying. We are embracing, all the new trainings, all the new opportunities, going to events. We're learning from anybody that we can learn from. This team is amazing, and so are other trainings. I actually reached out to a local girl that's not even in our team that builds a business. She does awesome with Isagenix, and she's including me in something that they're doing just by the kindness of her heart. So there are other things going on, and it's okay to reach out to other people and get help from other people. That just might be the push that you need. That would be being proactive, stretching yourself to do more. And that causes confidence in you, and that causes, you're feeling strong and you're feeling in control that you could conquer anything. So look at the top part where it says responsibility. Like, if you're proactive, you have that internal responsibility to yourself, that internal motivation. But if you are still reactive, then you are so influenced by outside, and you might be in that fearful place because you are worried about somebody, what they think about what you're doing, what the world thinks about what you're doing. You're still holding back. So I just want you to look at that visual, and I'm sure we all would like to be on the proactive side of it, but to be on the proactive side, you have to be willing to step out. And a lot of times we don't step out because we don't have the confidence to step out, when in turn we have to realize that stepping out would help us with our confidence. So I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Awesome. Yeah. So this is key. So one thing that's Shanna, I'm going to go back here. So if you look under reactive where it says action zone, one thing that she didn't talk about was when she said comfort zone, what happens is, this is kind of what I was talking about with reaching out to people and being proactive. What happens is you're in a comfort zone, but then when you do something just a little bit, or you post something and then somebody sends you a message and they say, hey, I'm interested in learning more, panic sets in because you haven't been dictating the direction of your business. You've been waiting for people to knock on your door, okay? It's like people used to tell me in chiropractic, you can't just put the shingle or the name out on your door and expect people to come knocking down the door. You have to be proactive and look for clients. It's the same thing with this, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, the algorithms, and I know people get tired of hearing algorithms. I do too, and I don't understand them completely. They are going to constantly be changing if you're using Facebook as your primary, which is fine, but you can no longer be reactive, because I'm going to tell you right now, not very many people are seeing your post. So if your self-esteem or confidence is based on people liking or commenting on your post, you're going to be really sad. Okay. I get even caught in that game sometimes, like, wait, why did that not get that many likes? I don't care anymore. I really don't care, because I just want to put posts out there that are driving my brand, that are driving what I'm trying to accomplish with people, because I know that I'm going to be proactive. and I'm reaching out to people way before they ever worry about reaching out to me. Okay? So don't get in that panic zone. Just start getting into action. You will stumble. It will be uncomfortable, but it's absolutely fine, and you will live. Okay? Let me check. Are there questions? I would argue that some are not so scared. Okay. So, yeah, that's a good point. So the post said, I would argue that some are not necessarily scared to step out of the comfort zone, rather still trying to figure out what to do and what works. The key with this is you have to try things long enough to see if they're actually working. Okay? It's kind of like when people do ads or radio ads, TV ads. Well, you don't just put it in there for a day, and if you don't get the feedback you're looking for, stop doing it. Same thing with this. Find something that stretches you a little bit and you're comfortable enough with to try and do it for enough in a day, in a week, in a month. Do it for that entire period, but be consistent daily to see if it's actually working or not working. Too many times we're jumping around and we never really know if something's working or not working because we're never staying consistent with one thing long enough.
But I think the key too is don't take too long, because then you're just getting ready to get ready, and getting ready to get ready isn't gonna help you. This is literally, they say, the only profession where you can fail forward every day and still learn and make an income. So I guess I could
just be in action.
Be in action.
But you have to be connecting with people. You have to be presenting to people. And guess what, guys? People have to be buying our products. Okay? So we have to be presenting to them to do that. And that's uncomfortable for some people. But we are in sales. I know we say we share with people, but this is sales. And sales is an awesome business, but we don't have to make it salesy. We can actually just share what we love. And if you love it, then it's okay.
Do you have one more?
Yep.
Okay.
A couple more.
Maybe save time for.
All right. So 6 steps or 6 tips to help keep you moving forward. And by the way, I tell you that I listen to things all the time. I listened to somebody's live about an hour ago, and that's where I got these from. So I loved it, and so I was like, well, I'm going to bring this to the table because I liked it. Okay, so number 1 is stay hungry. All right, always be growing that why, growing your goals. Make your goals scary. All right, we talk about this all the time, and don't make them just about money. Talk about what will that do for you when you reach your goals. How is it going to impact not only you, but other people in your organization? What is the impact that is going to be? Make it huge, okay? So stay hungry. Second thing is call yourself out on your excuses, guys. Stop making excuses. We all have them. We all do them. They don't work. Excuses are tools of the incompetent, and they just keep you where you are all the time. Nobody can do this but you. But guess what? You can do this. Everybody can do this. And this is, I'm going to tell you right now, this sounds terrible. This is another reason why you need to come to events, because you're going to see people that you go, what? They did this? Well, if they did it, I know I can do it. I promise you, it's just real people. Okay? There's no crazy, insane kind of skill that you have to start this business and to learn this business. But you do have to learn the skills, and you can learn them, but you have to show up, okay? You can have results or excuses, but not both. All right, figure out your walls. This is part of your excuses as well. People have hang-ups with their time. They have hang-ups with money, okay? What is your value set? What value do you put on what you're offering to people? What value do you put on your time? What value do you put on your efforts each day? Okay? Where is your skill set a wall? Is that something that you go, I don't want to know it, I don't know it, I can't learn it, it's too hard to learn, I'm not going to do it? Okay? You got to figure out those walls, because we got to knock them down. And then trust. Do you trust your team? Do you trust the company? Do you trust the products? Do you trust the people you're working with? Do you trust that prospect that you're talking to? Okay? You got to figure those walls out, and we can change those things. If you change the way you look at things, the things around you change. Okay? I didn't make that up. Get out of the box. Okay? Get out of your tiny box that is holding you back and keeping you from being able to be and do and have what you want. Okay? We all want and deserve more, and we can all have more. We're all destined for greatness, but we have to get out of our small box that is holding us back. Knock down the walls. Live a life with no box. Keep doing what you know how to do. Okay, so there are basic things that are simple every single day that you don't forget about. This is what I kind of talked about before is I've been doing this for over 3 years, and there's things that I did in the beginning when it's ignorance on fire that work, but then you start to learn new things, and then you forget about those things that worked because you're trying new things because you're like, well, that looks better. It's that shiny object syndrome. You're complicating it more, okay? And then you forget what things work. Keep doing what you know how to do. Keep doing the basics. Okay, that is your daily activity list, and looking back and seeing what's working. That reflection on reviewing what is working, but give it time. All right? So you need to do the things every single day. I send birthday messages every single day to every single person on my list. I have specific messages I send them. I don't give up because they don't respond back. I have people that I've sent birthday messages to for three years in a row, and then finally they say, oh, hey, appreciate that. Yeah, it just takes time. Some people don't see messages, all right? So don't give up. All right, and the last one is stop trying to figure it out on your own. You guys plugged into this call. You're plugging in on Monday nights. A lot of you are showing up to Celebration. Show up to events. Plug in, whatever it takes. Plug into trainings through other teams, through other network marketers. My favorite is Ray Higdon. His Rank Makers group is an awesome group. Are you in that, Tom? Rock on, man. That is an awesome group. It has taught me so much in such an easy, laid-back way that it's amazing. Partner up with somebody. Find somebody that you feel connected with. If it's not your life partner, find somebody on your team that you go, listen, let's work together. Let's move forward. Let's keep moving the chains forward until we score, okay? And if you can, you don't have to do all these, by the way, but just try to do some of them. Get a coach, all right? If you have the means, if you have the ability to do it, get a coach. Get a business coach, get a life coach, whatever it is. You are worth the investment, okay? You have to understand that. You are worth the investment. All right, so I like this quote. The road to confidence is through your fears. The road to confidence is through your doubts. The road to confidence is through what you imagine to be pain. Nobody ever died from sending out messages. Nobody ever died from a phone call. I promise you guys. But you can be saving somebody, not only them, but you, from living how you don't want to be living, possibly. Okay? Let's see if there's, I know we had one more.
Action stuff.
Yeah.
Items.
So action items. You want to go through that?
No.
All right. So obviously we have Celebration coming up. I know there's still tickets available, but I'll tell you right now, if you don't have a ticket Raylene has a ticket, I think. No, they're all gone. Good. She got rid of her ticket. But there are tickets on Isagenix Events. On Isagenix Events Facebook page, and you can get them there. I saw somebody selling them for $100 on there. If you're not going to Celebration, figure out your next event. What is your next event? Go to isagenixevents.com and plan your next event. If you're not showing up to events, you're not serious about this.
Anybody want to go to University in Action, right? In Washington in October. Monica and I are going. If anybody wants to come.
University in Action.
You haven't done David Wood and the growth in yourself. It's amazing.
Yeah, Raylene wants to go to that because she's close. All right. And so what we talked about before was, where do I start? If you just have no idea where to start, and this is mind-blowing to you, isagenixbusiness.com, start here. Okay? That's it. It makes it so simple for you. Stop making it complicated. All right? So let's see. I know we had some questions or comments.
Do your stop share.
Let's do the stop share. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Celebrate. Yeah. NYKO is, I think it's probably going to be in Arizona. I think it's in Arizona again.
Back, my full hair.
Was that? All right.
Anybody want to get any questions or?
Yeah. Are there any questions? Anything anybody's having trouble with? Anything that you want to help move forward, or any recognition, celebrations?
Just give us a minute. Anybody have any questions or just want to give any feedback or share?
You're welcome, Cindy.
Hey, Joe. Yeah, I just wanted to say that that Ray Higdon is definitely top notch. I definitely highly recommend, especially like with me, I'm just trying to figure out how to get the hell out of my own way. And he really breaks it down pretty good for you. So a lot of valuable stuff you get out of his Facebook group.
Yeah,
It is.
I got home from work and he was like, Stacy, oh my God, he's talking to you. He's talking to you right now. I'm like, you need to stop. He's talking to you.
And that's exactly what it is, guys. If you want to take a look at that, it's joinrankmakers.com. And there's there's a free samples on there of some videos that he did. But the thing about what Rankmakers does is, first of all, it helps you look at both sides, because there's not only one way to do things, and that's the beauty of this page. But he has daily trainings that are recorded, so obviously you can go back and look at them. And there's a group of, it is thousands upon thousands of network marketers just like us. We can't talk about our products. Nobody can sell it, so nobody's going to do anything like that to you. But people ask questions. They come with what has happened to them that day. Hey, guys, I sent this message to somebody. How would you respond? That's invaluable. Just that alone is worth it. And I think it's $19.99 a month, something like that. Yeah. It was like $19 a month, and you can stop anytime. But once you get in there, you will realize that just one day of being in there pays for the whole month.
I have a question though. Are there any recommendations on a specific person as a coach? I'm sure we've all tried different coaches, and it's always a monetary thing. And I think that I could really use somebody on a fairly regular basis, at least right now where I'm at in my life.
Well, it does depend on your personality, but LaDonna may want to speak up. I think you started your Jeffrey Combs training. He's pretty intense.
Yes, I did. Yep, Jeffrey Combs.
I would really like to know about him, so I'm glad you're saying that.
Uh-oh. She got kicked.
Oh, no.
We lost her.
Facebook doesn't like Jeffrey for something. I think they kicked her off. No, he's awesome. Randall can speak to it.
Yeah, I know I'm paying for Jeffrey.
Well, that's just it. It's a pretty big
It's an investment.
And I just want to know more. I'd love for you to speak on him, because
I went
to like a quick thing, and it was great, but you don't learn anything at those.
Yeah, she's getting really personalized. He really gets into your psyche and what drives you, what's holding you back, where you have self-doubt, things that you personality-wise that you can really benefit from. So, it's I think it's very individualized based. That she started the training and he got a little I don't know. The first time she got out, she's like, it was so awkward. I just don't, because there's a lot of he waits to see how you react to certain things, and so he just wants feedback. And she was like, it was so awkward because there was all these dead silences. But as the training progressed, I think she's getting a lot out of it as far as how how her psyche gets affected by setbacks, about negativity, about all those things, at least from what I can gather. I mean, I personally haven't been sitting in the sessions. I've just been listening to her talk about it after she's done. And it seems to be working pretty good because she's been, LaDonna is an introvert, 100%. And she has really pulled herself out of her comfort zone and has started doing a lot of engagements that I would, quite frankly, not expected her to do. So it's doing something.
Yeah.
That's cool. Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Grow
Yeah.
you, yeah.
Yeah, Growth U, Rod Hairston. I mean, he does private training, but I don't know specifically. I mean, like I said, if it's a money thing, I mean, you can. Jeffrey Combs has coached millionaires in the company. It's not inexpensive what he does, but obviously you look at Randall and LaDonna's numbers the last few weeks, and they're always awesome. But geez, something's working.
Right.
Was
So
it 8 enrollments last week? Was it 8 or 9?
it was 5 and then 8 before that, right?
It was 8, and then we hit 5 this week. We're just it's just I think Joe is selling himself short. Life with No Box is an awesome tool there as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, but we just we did all the things that Joe hit tonight. It's just staying in action, constant action. What I would call a power post, and it's just it's not rocket science. It's simple stuff, and it's just
Keep your ass moving.
consistency adds up, and that's all we did. We just the big goals, right? So I am super busy at work, and I told LaDonna, I was like, hey man, where are we at on celebration? I was like, because I'm not paying for that damn hotel room.
That's what I said too.
Yeah, and she goes,
I'm not going to the hotel room.
yeah, I've left. She's like, we got 1 week. I was like, you're kidding me, right? She's like, no. I was like, all right, here we go. And,
Yeah.
made it happen. It was a goal, and
Awesome.
we could get there. So it was just get into massive action, keep going. So it's just stay consistent. That's really all it is.
You said it's not rocket science. What it is conversations. You have to talk to people, whether it's from behind the computer or face to face. The more conversations that you're having, the more success you're going to have.
And here's the key, guy, and I think Randall can probably attest to this. If he doesn't, then come back out and tell me I'm wrong. He and LaDonna doing what they did, 5 last week, 8 the week before, wasn't just the work they did that week to get 8 and 5 people. It was all the things I just talked about with consistency and reaching out until that day comes where those people are finally ready, but you've had enough reach outs that they just drop. Okay, so don't get frustrated when you reach out to 100 people this week and nothing happens, and then you say, that doesn't work.
Right.
Well, you can't do that. You have to do 100, or a lot more. I mean, I do more than that, but you do it every single week. And then finally, 4, 5, 6 weeks down the road, maybe a couple months, all of a sudden everything just starts dropping. But you stay on it. You keep doing the action that got you there because that's what it takes. We're not a coin-operated society. You don't go in, do a little bit of work, and get paid on it. It's the work that you do that you eventually get paid on it. But it continuously, once it starts, it keeps going. Okay, guys?
Awesome. You guys are awesome. Hey, I have a quick question, Melina. Those of us that are in the 90-day action plan, is it this week? Do we have a Zoom this week? Oops, you're muted.
Yeah, sorry, my phone wasn't working. Okay, so that's interesting that you said that. We were just going to make an announcement. We're going to move the Zoom until next week. And the reason for that is because we had some call to actions and there hasn't been a lot of activity in the group. And we think that's because of the holiday, and it was just, we kind of set the times and we were like, we want to see those 30-second stories. So we're going to give everybody another week. So if you guys haven't dropped your 30-second story in the 90-day action plan group, check that out and get that done. That's just huge. And that's a really safe place to go live, you guys. I mean, that's not a place where, you're going to have 100% love in that page. So planning on doing mine tomorrow. But I touched base with Stephanie and Melanie, and actually Randall, we're going to get with Randall tomorrow. He's going to give just some tidbits on massive action, because that's going to be our next Zoom. So we're going to move it from tomorrow. Thank you for asking. From
Awesome.
tomorrow until next Wednesday.
Will
To
you
give
drop
people
a reminder in the group about?
Oh yeah, yep. That's already going to happen. So,
Okay.
but
Yay.
just to give people more time. So.
Okay. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys have an awesome night. Thank you for, I think we went a little over than what we probably should have, but it was great seeing all your faces, and have an awesome week.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.